Hey, Philip, Ed, Andreas, Don, Marianne, Rex. Good to see everybody. And welcome to the show. Hopefully we get some people show up. Looks light so far. Only about 20 people. But, hey, we'll love the ones you're with, right? As they say. Anyway, glad to have everybody here for another 30 minutes of awesome. I did start a few seconds early, but, hey. So we've got NVDA earnings coming up, some PCE numbers coming on Friday, and a little fruit fly. I don't know where these fruit flies came from. No idea. One of them keeps hanging out right in here, trying to go up my nose. Love it. Anyway, then we have 30 minutes of awesome. Your requests. So, welcome everybody. Hey, Sergio's here. Well, it looks like we lost a few people now. Down to like 13, according to the ticker. Well, thanks for coming. If you want to chat on the stream, click the button right here, right down here. Be a subscriber on the channel. You can chat a few seconds later. And there's Tara. Hey, Tara. And we'll go till we run out of requests. I guess if the show's light, it's gonna be a bummer, but that's the way it works. Charlie. Anyway, welcome. Hey, Charlie. You know my friend Goose, don't you? Don't you? I bet that's the same person. He's been talking about you a lot. Welcome to the stream, everybody. Welcome to the stream. All right. Ivan, welcome. And so, before I jump into anything, all trading involves a substantial risk of loss. Past performance not necessarily indicative of future results. What does that mean? It means I may never get another prediction right again. That's kind of a bummer, but that's the way it works. This presentation is intended to be informational, educational, fun, entertaining. It is not a recommendation to be buying or selling any financial instruments, which means no stocks, options, bonds, forex, futures, cryptos, treasuries. Don't long them, don't short them, don't trade them. Don't buy stuff from people like me. I may be a complete shyster and scammer. I mean, make sure you trust me. Make sure you trust me. Follow me. I'm here live every day. I do this 30 minutes of awesome on Tuesdays to try to build some rapport with you. I review your tickers, then you can take them and do as you see fit. Because if you desire personal financial advice, you need to hire and consult a financial advisor. It's not what I'm doing. I'm not telling you what to do. I'm just a guy sharing what I do. And you throw some tickers at me, I give you my analysis based on my patterns right here in the market. So welcome everybody. Welcome. I guess the big thing is NVIDIA earnings coming up tomorrow after the close, right there, Wednesday. Yeah. It's already like, hey, we're already hump day coming up tomorrow already. Man, weeks fly by these days. We're gonna be like Halloween before you know it. Then next thing you know, turn around. I mean, it's like Labor Day next week or something. Then you got Halloween. Then you got Thanksgiving. Then you got Christmas. And oh my gosh, we're in 2025. What the heck? We're winding down 2024 already. It's a blur. I want to thank everybody for being here too. Yes. I thought you were the same, Charlie. Awesome. Dave, good to have you. Wolfens, Alan, Pat, good to see everybody. How's it going, Pat? Helping other people? Love to see it. Love to see it all. All right. So NVIDIA earnings coming in hot. So here's the deal. We are stuck at this danger zone. We did pop up through the gap and stopped right there. Gosh, man. So there's opportunity that this pops tomorrow. Can they beat expectations? Surprise the market? Throw out forward guidance that really impresses? I mean, earnings are a story of two things, what we did and what we're going to do. Put those together, and that's the reaction. But this is uncertain. I am uncertain. We still have support down here around 70, and we have resistance up here around 150. And if you put those together, that's like an 80-point spread. Man, that is a crazy risk versus the reward. We're at 128. The upside, like $20, and the downside, like $60. Whew. Man, oh man. Man, oh man. So, I don't know. I'm not willing to play that one right now. And gosh, I should pull up a platform and see what the implied volatility on that is. Hold on. 1 second. Let me see if I can pull up a platform. Maybe. Maybe not. Cool. There it goes. Oh, it got out. Install and upgrade. Of course. Because I don't trade on this computer very often. Let's see. Let's see if it'll let me in without throwing an error that it locked me out the other day when I tried to log in with this computer. It was like invalid. There it goes. Initializing broker session, and it's blank. Of course. Of course. Come on. There it goes. There we go. Populating. I guess the market's closed. It didn't want. I don't want to work. It's after hours. NVIDIA this Friday, 3 whole days away. The at the money spread. Looking for almost a $14 move. $14 move. So where would that put us? Right at the close today, $14. That's 18. $14 would be right about there. Roughly 141. And $14 on the other side. Right from the close, $14 down. Or pretty close. It's not exactly $14. So there's your implied volatility spread right there on NVIDIA. That's the expectation from the options market right now. If you don't know how to do that, you just take the at the money options, sell the call, sell the put, whatever the order is, whatever the price is. You know, this is the market's closed, so it's not a live price, but do that. It tells you the implied volatility every expiration, every ticker. You can do that trick. You just take whatever, you know, for the expiration. So by Friday, the options market is pricing a plus or minus $14 move in NVIDIA right there. It's a pretty slick trick right there. So now it's not 0.74. It's $14 move right here. Right? Hold on. Let me figure out how to. There we go. Right here. You do that. 3 days at the money's right there. Sell that one. Sell that one. $14 move. That's how you figure out what they're pricing right there. Sell the call. Sell the put. Right there. That's how you do it. Create that order. Whatever that comes up to be, that's the move. It's just the cheater way to do it. You can do a lot of math and kind of come up to, you know, maybe hone it in 10 or 15 cents closer, or, you know, 20 cents maybe, but ballpark, that's the fast, easy way to do it. Gets you darn close enough. So that's the plus or minus they're expecting by Friday. Tomorrow, after the close, is where the fireworks are going to happen. And this box can move around. Oh, not that box. This the pink box right here. Come on, pink box. This box can move around plus or minus depending on where we go tomorrow. If we go up or down, and the implied volatility could ramp up. So we could see this all create an interesting situation here. We're sitting there with that potential on NVIDIA. What do I expect? I don't know. Expectations are pretty high. And when we zoom this out, that looks like a pattern that I've seen somewhere before. This could keep going higher, but don't want to rain on your parade. She covered up this side of the chart over here. Starting to look a lot like this volatility here. We could watch out for a breakdown. We start breaking down below the low that's already been established on NVIDIA. We could take it back quite a bit. This is not NVIDIA's chart. This is just a market cycle. You can go Google this right here, Psychology of a Market Cycle. They have them in all different colors. You know, this is just one I pulled up. They have them in rainbow colors and all sorts of stuff. I call it the bubble pattern. All right, when we go up, I mean, we've literally heard people saying these things like Goose said his flight attendants were telling everybody to buy NVIDIA and SMCI if they wanted to be rich. And one of my other members, maybe is Don, maybe it was you, said that had a window installer guy come by their house, maybe it was a gutter guy, and said, hey, I'll give you a stock tip. I see you got the charts up. You should buy SMCI and NVIDIA right there. And when people that don't trade are telling everybody, I got a hot stock tip for you, got something to buy, you can make a bunch of money. Guess what? It's a bubble pattern. We're all going to be rich. We're all going to be rich. We're all geniuses. It's easy. And then you get the pullback. We just need to cool off a little bit. I've heard that for NVIDIA right now. We just have to cool off for the next rally. But what if it starts breaking lower? Watch for the anxiety. Watch for the denial. It's going to come back. Then the panic. Oh my gosh. Everybody's getting out. Capitulation. I got to sell before we lose more. Anger. Oh my gosh. How can the government let AI fail? Be careful. We've seen it happen. We've seen it happen in housing. We've seen it happen in all sorts of stuff. And for those of you that don't think NVIDIA gets massive pullbacks in the past, we just need to zoom up the chart. Look at this. Watch this. Look at that. Looks like the same dang chart, doesn't it? Oh, that's scary. That's scary, isn't it? Look at that. Look at that. We're at bottom. Now this was 10 times higher because it did a 10 for 1 split. It did another split over here too. Look at that same pattern. Everybody see it? Now look, watch. Look at that. Same pattern. Look at that. And look, it did it before too. Look back here. Not quite the same, but it's done it over and over. If you don't think it can retrace again. And look at SMCI right here. It's already on the way down. Uh-oh. 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 Watch out. Be careful, everybody. And I'm not trying to be perma-bear, or I'm perma-caution as we discussed this morning. So certainly be careful, everybody. Certainly be careful. Welcome to the stream. If you're late getting here, we're just talking about NVIDIA and its potential earnings tomorrow, and the fact that this could be kind of bubbly. And if it starts breaking down, we could have a long way to fall before we get back to support. Be careful out there. Nobody's watching your money more than you. Nobody cares about your money more than you. I guarantee you hire anybody to watch out for your money. They're not going to care about it more than you. In fact, what they're going to care about is making some of your money some of their money. That's classic out there. You hire anybody to work for you. They're just worried about making some of your money into some of their money. They don't really care about you and your well-being. I mean, maybe they care about your well-being as far as you being able to give them more money in the future, but we live in a transactional world. Only those special people cut through that transactional phase of all of our lives. So anyway, there's a very few. I'm talking in general. Not everybody, not every single person on the planet is that way, but it's the way it works, though. All right. So, PCE numbers coming up on Friday. Man, already talking about Friday. It's already Tuesday. We're talking about Friday already. So, right here, we've got Jerome Powell's favorite inflation read coming out right there. We'll get that PCE 8:30 before the market even opens on Friday, right there. Next to last day of the month. Friday. So we've got that cooking. Now, what do I expect to happen? That's a good question. I think it's going to come in line. I think Powell kind of needs it to come in line. I think the market kind of needs it to come in line. If it starts coming in spicy, It's not going to be good for the incumbent running for re-election or upgrade of office, whatever you want to call it. Hey, Kimberly's here. My favorite subscriber. And welcome, everybody. Kimberly. No better subscriber out there than Kimberly. No better supporter. All the crap I do. Puts up with all my crap. Anyway. All right. So PCE, I don't know. If it surprises, if it comes in spicy, we could see the market dump a little bit. And if it comes in light, oh my gosh, we could see the market rally quite a bit. And if it comes in expected, maybe a nothing burger. Expecting a 0.2, which is kind of where we've been almost. You know, you compare this to the CPI, and that doesn't even look like we had inflation, right? No wonder Powell loves this number. No wonder. I mean, it doesn't even make it look like we had inflation at all, despite the fact that almost everything's gotten like twice as expensive out there. So just be careful. I mean, gosh, man, the numbers are all made up. It's Comedy Central. So we do have GDP also coming up on Thursday, right here. Preliminary GDP. I mean, is the economy actually strong? I don't know. We'll find out. Right there, preliminary numbers, quarter over quarter, coming out on Thursday, 8:30 in the morning. That can be a volatility-inducing event. Unemployment, nothing burger. And we get that preliminary GDP price index right there. So our price is going up. Then we also have the pending home sales right there. That can be a surprise volatility. If it surprises the market, it causes volatility. If it's just like, we kind of expected that, does nothing. So, and volatility just means fast moving. Not necessarily predicting a drop or a pop, just things moving fast. And it can settle down shortly after that. So that's bots creating volatility. And as we went through last week, they were supposed to do the revised jobs number, and bots went crazy, even though the BLS, Bureau of Labor Statistics, didn't even release a number. So the bots created volatility in the market, even though no number actually hit the market. That was actually just absolutely nutty. And then the number came out like 3 hours later. So, and then the market took it right back to, basically it was a nothing burger after making like 30-point swing in the market, 40-point swing in the market. Just ridiculous. Just absolutely ridiculous. And so the red list, we usually go through this, hit the highlights. ES, S&P 500 futures. Why futures? Because they only closed for an hour, whereas the cash index stopped at 4 when the bell rang. This is still ticking. Well, it's not ticking at the moment. We'll start ticking again in about 40 minutes. So, tick all night. And not a bad day on futures right there. Gapped down and kind of closed up a little bit. And green day, right in the resistance, inside candle, indecision in the market. Probably still looking for, there's the potential to flush a little bit and then pop. I'm still looking for the breakout. Still bullish, even though people say I am perma bear. Still looking for 5,800 on the futures. In Q, well, this is interesting here because we didn't break this high over here. We came up just shy of it and retraced. This could be finished today. And there's one interesting thing I wanted to show you though. Look at this. I saw this just before I came on live. Look at this right here. Down on the hourly time frame. I would keep an eye on this right here. Look at that. High, lower high, lower high, lower high. Got to get through that right there. In fact, I'm going to set an alert right there. And let's add a little spice to it so I know what the alert is when it wakes Kimberly up in the middle of the night. Right there. Yeah, I get alerts all times of the day and night. All times of the day and night. She loves it. I guarantee. No, I'm just kidding. She does not love it all the time. She's like, you're dang alone. What the heck was going on last night? Like 50 alerts. Crypto was up or crypto was down or whatever. Riding the up train on Russell so far. That kind of tips the odds. We're going up to 2360 right up here on the Russell futures. I mean, survey says higher. That's what the odds are. That's my statistics, my historical statistics. Right here, we look at it. Oh my goodness, pulled that way up. I'm in the wrong place. Let's be on the back on the right side here. And let's turn off deep dive testing and get the statistics that we need. Right there, 60%. That's not the right one. We're on the wrong time frame. Dollar down, the daily chart, dollar chart. There we go. That fired off right there. That's an entry. 89%, 6.5 profit factor. Maybe like, I don't see the entry. There's a lot of gobbledygook on this chart. I'm sorry. I can see right through it, but I know some people don't like the, I mean, this is kind of how my brain works. There's so much stuff going on all the time. So there's the entry yesterday. And today, a little better deal. Odds are 88.89%. We're probably going up to 23.68 right there. Odds are. And it might take 29 trading days to get there. So how many trading days, how many calendar days is 29 trading days? So start from yesterday. Head out here, 29. Oh, we hit the wall. Gonna have to pull the chart over. Boom, 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 28, 29. Right there is 42 calendar days. It could be well into October before we make it all the way up there. Right there. That's the average, all right? Average. Now, it can go faster than that. It can be a week. It could go slower than that. It could be 90 days. It could take us all the way through Christmas. It could be crazy. I mean, it could take us, it could very well take all the way out here. There's 58 days. Pull on over. Can we get to Christmas? Oh, won't let me go that far. December 2016, that gets us 78 days. So, yeah, right after Christmas, we might get there. I mean, it could be that long. Do I think it's going to be that long? No, I think we're going to find out the results of this much more quickly. But we'll see. I mean, it could go in a dip and mess around for a little while. So, there you go. Yeah, change it. Kimberly says, change it to my alarm, and I'll never even hear it. And she sleeps right through the alarm every day. And I'm like, why do you even set an alarm at 7 a.m. every day if you're not even gonna like wake up at all? I digress. And oil still hanging with this tighter downtrend line. We're still in the watermelon seed squeeze. If you haven't seen this yet, let's hide the statistics for that because it doesn't matter. Still hanging. Got good intentions to get up and meet the day head on and sleep right through it. And right there is probably the most dangerous pattern that I watch in the market. I call it the watermelon seed squeeze because if you've ever squeezed a watermelon seed, you know predicting exactly where it's going to go is near impossible. Nigh impossible. So that right there, might it break up? Might it break down? It's kind of a coin flip, 50-50 odds. I don't know. I feel better about going up, but we might go down. May very well go down. Brent is not very much more clear. Is European oil, but it doesn't look quite as watermelon seed squeezy. Not quite. It still does, and it still does right there. Those highs going up, or those lows going up, and these highs coming down. Just not quite as perfectly hitting. Not clearing up the path whatsoever right there. Gasolina, the thing that most of our cars run on, but not my new vehicle. Right there, higher low so far, but we may break out and go a little lower. That's 3 waves down. I don't know. We can see the futures are pricing plummeting into the abyss. So futures don't, all the way out to 2027, almost 2028, are expecting gasoline demand to decline. EVs keep ramping up. We'll see if that happens. Heating oil, kind of the same story. Look at that. Got a little pop coming into the end of the year and then dropping on down. And you may be like, why does gasoline have all these bumps in it? That's that historical, they always tell you about the summer blend, winter blend. Summer blend, winter blend, and there you go. Your summer driving season. That's that seasonal demand for gasoline right there. Playing on the futures chart. Don't see that really. The only thing you see is that shipping demand for holidays. Very muted going forward. So I don't know what we plan on replacing diesel fuel with, but you know, hey, guess we're gonna have all those Tesla trucks out there making deliveries. We'll see what happens. This is indicative of a problem. Like when diesel fuel is beat down, that's not showing a strong economy. Not showing a strong economy. We have natural gas right here. It was trying to break lower today. Oh man, we might actually push down. If we get below this, we could go down here to $1.40 on natural gas. It's interesting, right in front of when we usually start seeing a ramp up. Last year we saw a ramp up coming into September here. We're kind of pushing down this year. This will be interesting to see. Like this could turn and burn here all of a sudden. Like if we break out above that 230, watch for a move up to this $4 area pretty quickly. So UNG was getting murderized today on natural gas, just plummeting into the abyss. So, all right, moving on. Gold, hitting all the commodities here. All the commodities. Gold is just a broad brush on the economy. Gold was just, I mean, it went on a little bit of a tear toward the end of the day and then ended up on a big little croquet hammer doji thing, spinning top, whatever you want to call it. Indecision is what I call it. We were down here, now we're up here, just spinning top, doji, whatever. Nothing at all, no information. Silver still trying to break above the 618. Now this one may be telling us that gold's about to rip again, so I would like to see silver push up in here, possibly get another retrace, and then go moving on up. We kind of did this little retrace back here really fast. Now, do we do another one before we can actually break higher? 35 is still my target on the silver futures right there. Copper, Dr. Copper is still indicating there are worldwide problems, and Timu Pinduoduo coming out with weak numbers. Kind of surprised that China announced weak numbers. And right there, I kind of predicted we would see a retrace to this area. It just took 6 months longer than I expected. There we are. If we can make a bottom here, we could go higher again, but it may be done for now. We may see this go on a bigger retrace. Look, this is a lower high. Remember that bubble chart? Look at that right there. There it is again. And on a smaller scale, we tend to do this with lower peaks and lower peaks on things that the excitement's kind of wearing off of. That's not necessarily NVIDIA. All right. Like an example of lower peaks and lower peaks would be this baby right here. See that? Peak, lower peak, lower peak, lower peak, lower peak, lower peak, a little bit higher peak, but still lower than these back here. Lower peak, lower peak. This one does the bubble pattern a lot. It's like the favorite bubble pattern stock out there. So be careful out there, chasing bubble patterns all over the market. All right, let's touch on Bitcoin, crypto a little bit. Bitcoin USD, spot market, and we are back to the roadmap line. If we can hold it, going higher, going higher. If we don't hold it, we're gonna fold it, probably make a lower low than what we made right back here just 22 days ago, 3 weeks ago. So that's the long and the short of it. Like if we can hold, got to hold that, break out above these highs, going up, cruising, baby. If we break down below this zone, this is very important right now. If we break down below the zone, probably coming back at least to the bottom, if not making an extension lower, possibly all the way down to the $40,000 area. That would kind of be a little bit sucky right there. Now, I did bring something. Hold on. Let me pop over. I just remembered. I brought something to talk about. Something different. Something. I was considering saving this up for Labor Day, but why not just show it off now? check this out. So if you take the average growth, all right. So here's the trajectory on the first halving. In fact, let me do this. Let me pull it over where I can mark on it. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. So first halving right here. This is the third halving. So this was the best. This was the worst so far. The second halving right in the middle. So maybe, you know, we're just at the start of this baby. So this is just equalizing all the moves, right? So first halving, second halving, third halving. What do we do on the fourth halving? Does it do a lower one? I don't know. See, the second this is interesting, though. They didn't all start out or go the same exact path. You know, big picture, they've kind of all done the same thing. The average was the blue right in there. Kind of see it right there, hanging almost with the second halving, almost right on the money. You see the blue right here? Blue, 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 blue. Almost with the red one. You know, my red line almost equal with the other red line. So we underperformed early on the second halving. We outperformed early on the third halving, which the third halving was 2020. And we're on the fourth halving now. Currently, we're working on, we're like hanging out here right around that $60,000 area. So what are we going to do? Are we going to do I mean, look at the scale on this baby. If we do what we did on the first halving, look at that number. Holy guacamole. Are you kidding me right now? And look, we may settle, we make wild swings. That'd be a $3 million pullback right there. And then coming out right there around 2 million. That would be pretty crazy. That may be a little over crazy. All right. Maybe more realistic is like the third halving here coming up. That would be, that's still the upper end of my projection right there. 300,000 and 150,000. I mean, look at that. We could ping pong around there. I'm still kind of thinking we may top out 100, you know, in this zone right here. We may top out in this zone. We'll see. I just thought that was pretty wild, though. So for those of you that love this stuff, you eat it up. There you go. And it's a logarithmic scale. The average trajectory growth. Look at that number. Look at that number. If Jody, if you're here, this probably excites you today. Put a little bright spot on you. I know Nikki and Laura, if you're here, you probably are excited too. There you go. That kind of number. That'd be pretty freaking wild, wouldn't it? The average halving. So if we take the last three, you know, we've only had three before. If this fourth one, this time, just does the average. Looking at 1.1 million. That's where people like Kathy Woods get their number right there. Pretty wild to think. I'm still kind of, my optimistic target is down here, just above 300,000. My I don't know, average, less optimistic target right down here around 150,000. So this is where JT's kind of thinking we may top out. I'm just trying to be a realist. Right down in here, this zone, right down in here, somewhere in here. Now, look at the numbers here, though. 25, 26, 27. That's probably the next crypto winner right there. And then that'll be the next halving, coming up into the next halving over here. That's the 4-year cycle. So we started out over here. 25, not that far away. 26 seems like forever away. 27, and then 28 will be here before we know it, into the next halving. There you go. There you go. And if you wonder how we're progressing, mempool that space right here. You can see how we're progressing right here. And I'm actually on a specific block instead of the current mining. There we go. We're actually running ahead of schedule. They're going to increase difficulty in like 18 hours. We're almost so here, coming up here tomorrow afternoon, we're going to increase the difficulty. We're mining out too fast, getting ahead of schedule. If you're like, well, when's the next halving? Right there you go. estimated to be April 17th, 2028, right there. We are almost 10% of the way to the next halving. Blocks remaining, 191,000 blocks. Pretty wild. That's mempool.space if you wonder how to see that. So that's Bitcoin in a nutshell. Ethereum USD still looking bearish, and this may go down for a lower low. I've been saying that for a few days. I'm not trying to be bearish like on purpose, but that looks like we're gonna go for a lower low on Ethereum. If you can hold on to what you got, maybe anyway. All right, everybody. All right, we've got, it's that time of the day where we do requests. We've got about 100 people here. So here's the rules of the game. You got to type all capitals. You got to type a real ticker. If you got a question to go with it, please use complete sentences. Don't lament me for missing your ticker or missing your question. I do my best to get everything. There was some debate last week that I skipped BA. I went back and checked. I did do BA. It was not a like super in-depth analysis, but I did do it. And if you're going to request a crypto, please use the complete ticker like BTC USD so I can type it into TradingView and pull it up. All right. One ticker per person per request. If you give me a list of tickers, I'm going to pick one and then move on. And you need to wait for somebody else, preferably 2 other people, to go before you hit me again. And that way it gives everybody a fair chance to make requests. All right. And the chat's already blown up. So here we go. Starting out with Mara. We're just waiting on this to go. Waiting on it to go. It's done a measured bounce. If you're not familiar with that, what that is, it's a pattern that moves up, comes back to a 618 retrace of the first move up, and then it bounces. It has the measured bounce setup. It's hanging out here at the roadmap line. That can be resistance. I commonly hold that that's a support and resistance line. I mean, support over here, and now we're below it, so it's resistance right now. But if we can break through it, 37, 39, possibly 46, right there. All right. Remember, if I say anything you like while I'm doing your analysis, give me a thumbs up or anything else you see while I'm going. I do appreciate the feedback in the chat and the thumbs ups, the likes, the shares, the hearts, all the things you can do. And super chats are always appreciated. Let's see, app. App is hanging right here. It's got the pattern to go up to 96 right there. That's the target right there. Not much upside left. Downside support right down here, 72. Simple as that. Simple as that. And you can see Apollo took the trade right there on the daily chart. So not that far to go to the target. Starbucks. Oh man, I'm long Starbucks. I am long Starbucks with some $90 calls. How about $90 calls out till 2026? No, strike that. I bought $100 calls out to 2026. $100 calls. That's what I bought. I have $100 calls. They're just out of the money. $100 calls out to 2026. Look at this. Look at this potential. Holy guacamole. Are you kidding me right now? Right there. That's what I think we're gonna do. Looks better on log mode than non-log mode. 150, possibly 200. Yeah, that's crazy, right? That's crazy. JT, that's crazy talk. I know it's crazy talk. Look at this right here. It was a measured bounce. So that high, this low. Look at those targets. 140, 160, possibly up here, 200. It just seems absolutely crazy. Just seems absolutely crazy. Yeah, that's long term though. It's 2025, 2026, maybe 2028. I don't know. Could take a while. Could go fast. I'm probably gonna bail even if we get to like 120. I'm probably out. My like $5 options probably went to $20. I'm probably out. Probably out and moving on. Cha-ching. Anyway, BTBT. That one looked so good for breakouts, and then retracing a little bit. Measured bounce. There's not really any bad. I have nothing bad to say about this. It looks like we're probably gonna go cruising up to this $16 to $30 area. That's where it's set. That's where it's primed to go. We just need crypto to participate. It's probably not going to do it without Bitcoin. So if Bitcoin can break higher at all, watch for that right there. Solana USD. Sol USD is just sitting at the roadmap line. Hadn't done anything in weeks. Keep requesting it. Keeps not doing anything. Just sitting there. Same with Avalanche. Just not doing anything. Same with most of crypto. Just not doing jack squat. Diddly do. Nothing at all. All right. We did app. We did Starbucks. We did CMG. Oops, CMG, not CMD. So I'm a computer guy. And sitting at the roadmap line. So here's the deal. Just remove the drawings. That high. That low. Right there. Looks like the lowest low. Here's resistance. Right there. Color that back to orange. So there's the resistance. We clear that resistance. There's the next target. 72. This did like a bajillion for one split. 50 for one split right there. And lately, splits have not been the most bullish thing. So this could, in fact, be the bubble pattern. I do warn. Now, it's not quite really as exponential as something like NVIDIA or SMCI. We look at it right here, but it is pretty cooked on the upside. I mean, that's just been a pretty wild tear, and we do get crazy pullbacks in here. We haven't done one in a while. And it's been, it was like that long in between those two. Look where we are now. We could last a little longer. Could go on a little higher tear there. That move up went that high. So we could in fact rise on up to about 112 and then get another one of those wicked pullbacks right there. Done it twice before. Almost the same exact proportions. Take us back to 35. Oof. That'd be rough. Be careful on CMG. Perma cautious. I do think we're probably going higher though. I don't even know why I got that alert there. Close it. Delete that alert. All right. There's CMG for you. And HL. Look at mining is stuck at the resistance. Right there. May go deeper. That's a lower high so far. Lower high, hitting resistance, triple top. Watch out for that to drop. That could, in fact, drop while, I don't even know, is it gold and silver? Gold and or silver? See, the problem is they don't make tons of money. They tend to lose money, in fact. So it's tough going when you lose money. And you're mining something that's the most valuable thing on earth, practically. So be careful. That's not necessarily set up. NEM is my preferred play on this, and I bought here in March. I think it was March when I called it, and this has a potential large upside. Potential very large. I'll probably get out at 110-ish, but it could go to 160, 270. Ridiculous numbers. But that could last a lot longer. This could last to 2030, 2035. Could last way longer than I'm going to be in options for 2026 right there. XRP USD is potentially trying to change its tune, but be cautious here on this. We broke down below the lows. I mean, look at this weekly chart. We're riding, making higher lows. Broke through that uptrend. Tested it from the bottom, couldn't break through. Tested it again. That's a recipe for going lower. If crypto can't get its collective crap together, watch out for that to flush. Oh man, that could be a 50% haircut pretty quickly. Right there. Yeah, be careful on XRP. And to roll down Avalanche. Like I said, Avalanche hadn't done much either. So potential measured bounce, but it's still got a downtrend of highs cooking, and it has been unable to break above that so far. That is not the bullish sign I'm waiting for. If we can break above these highs right up here, this consolidation we did for like 6 weeks, then we can start looking for this upside breakout, 200, 300 up there. But until it does that, it could still flush lower. We can still make a lower low. It could still be pretty devastating on Avalanche. And I just rolled the chat. Cool. I love it when I do that. Disney is set to go lower. Like we could save it here with a measured bounce. That measured bounce would look like that high, that low, possibly 130, 140, 150. But if we break down, watch for a lower low, possibly 69.70 area right there. I'm not sure we're done. Not sure we're done. And breaking up through the 618 and the roadmap line would be the indication we're going higher, but that's, you know, you're already late. So there's no super awesome high probability thing. You can say, JT, you're just wrong. I don't know. That one's not clear and not great. And I am on a weekly chart, not a daily chart, because it is that big term of a pattern. Like on the daily chart, it still looks like it's going to flush lower right there. All right. AMD is back to the roadmap line. I drew these arrows. We'd come up here and then maybe go down for the lower target. Came up shy right there just a couple weeks ago. And we're still lower highs. And that's not overly bullish until we start breaking above that trend line. Got to break above the trend line. If we can break above the trend line, looking at 246 potential up there. If we can't do that, can't break above the trend line, can't break above the roadmap line, watch out for one more lower low. If we can do the one more lower low, then it starts looking better for reversing. That's what I'm looking at. AVGO, another big splitter that did a big retrace, and this one set the stage for a rally up to 194, possibly 203, right up there. If it breaks down though, there's the target down there around 108, 110. And Euro USD, we don't get many requests. Did I get the right one? Let's see. FCX, EUR USD. Let me go to, I like Forex. I like Forex.com. So look what we got here. Yikes. Yikes. Look at that right there. That's a 618 retrace of that move down. Rejected. Back to it. So key level here. Right there. If we can bust above that, potentially going higher. And I have a friend of mine that says Forex is interesting in that all the currencies kind of are trying to come together at 1-to-1. Like that tends to be the bias of Forex. It's all kind of, you know, it kind of does this as it approaches 1-to-1. Like it all seems to be heading to 1-to-1, always converging down to parity. Whereas the stock market tends to always be converging on up. The bias is up. You know, you look at the S&P 500 up like 7, 8, 9% a year on average. And so it's kind of interesting when you look at the Forex market on the bigger time frame. They're all kind of coalescing toward a dollar, toward that parity. And that's what we got right here. That's hanging out near a dollar. Now it does swing and goes up and goes down, and you can make bajillions of dollars on this, but there's just not a lot. I mean, it's not really interesting. Not a real interesting pattern. And off this low, we may top out right there again. So I do kind of short term, maybe see a little extension. Now it doesn't mean it can't pull back in between there, but I expect some resistance. May expect to find some resistance right in that zone right there. That's a bunch of pips. Quite a few thousand pips right there. All right. MCD, McDonald's. Wow, what a rally. So that's a potential double bottom and the target right up here at 330 to 350 for now. We may find some resistance and pull back again. That definitely did a turn and burn there pretty quickly. Impressive move on McDonald's right there. Definitely. I was kind of expecting a breakdown and push lower, but that move seems to have wrapped it up right there. Wrap it up. We'll take it higher. That target doesn't actually mean a lot at the moment. Let's go with a different one. Same target. Yeah, right there. 311, 319, 344. Right there. All right. That's McDonald's. That's an impressive move on McDonald's. McDonald's. All right. Meta. Hanging. Right. You know, target's still the same. It's been for 2 weeks. Now, you may be like, well, how long is this thing going to take, JT? Right there. 90% odds. It's kind of like the Russell, right? 24 candles on average, which the average 24 bars. That's what we got right there. So that may take out to right here. That's how long it may take. Oh, man, I missed that thing. Almost got him. I got 2 of them yesterday, I think it was. 2 of those little suckers. There were 3 of them in here. Got 2 of them. One of them still flying around getting me. Freaking little fruit fly. Freaking little thing. Anyway, I digress. So that kicked off back here. 24 bars puts us here. That's the average. Could take longer. Could go shorter. We'll see. No change, though. 560 upside. And stop out $1 below the low. So 343-ish. All right. Square. It has been looking pretty rough. Stuck at the roadmap line. Cannot get through. Cannot get through. This. So here's resistance. Here is support. Hanging out between there. It seems to be what Square has been doing. It's going to have to break up through this prior high right there in order to get its collective crap together and head up toward the 95 to 100 area right there. If it can't do that, watch out for a lower low down here around 35 for Square. Joe USD. Let's see if that'll pull up. Crypto. It's not one I... Ooh, man, that's a nasty chart right there. Higher low. And it's not like a long-term higher low either. Just higher low. Break down through. Back tested it. Watch out. That's like XRP right there. Hanging out below the trend line. Ugh. I don't... Like, be careful. That can flush. ARM is still churning. Like, that looks like a bubble pattern to me. We don't have all the build up to it. Came up. Retracing. Watch for the flush back down. Probably going to fill that gap sooner or later. Sooner or later. We only have a little bitty short roadmap line. Not a long history. That so far, a lower high. Not even up to the 618 at the 50, which indicates weakness. And we may come down here, possibly even make a lower low. Lower than the IPO low back here at 46. There you go. That's ARM. Nothing really changed on that chart. IWL. Not too shabby here. It's like possibly 141, 143. That would be the high probability pattern. The entry was back here on Wednesday the 14th, a week ago. That, cruising on up. That's very similar to the SPY. Very similar to QQQ. All looks very similar. We're probably set to go higher. We'll see. And FWRD. Forward air. Look at that. Up to resistance. Be careful. So upside. I don't know. Golly, man. That could turn itself around. Gee whiz, man. Look at that move. So resistance is right there. We could easily pop back up to that. and get a lower low somewhere down in here. Holy wow. Man, that is an epic move right there. Yeah, blog mode. It could be a bottom. Like, it could have bottomed. I would, like, if it breaks above that right there, we could easily get an extension up in this area up here. That went from 100, wow, 90% retrace right there. Went from 130 basically down to 12. 90%. Whew. Golly. So watch for that. If we can break above that $50 area, go rocking and rolling higher. But if it rejects that, it can make a lower low. That low could be done at $6. Whew. Man, that's a wicked pattern right there on forward. MSTR, done nothing for a few days. Jump back down. Zoom her up, Buttercup. Zoom her up, Buttercup. So waiting on crypto. Bounced off the roadmap line. Came up shy of the 618 trigger. Well, it kind of did potentially trigger. It's like cool. I just deleted the Apollo off there. Awesome. It's kind of hanging. I don't know. Cool. Didn't even put Apollo in the list. Didn't even make it my favorites. Apollo. It's not even in here. Cool. Where did you go? Yeah, that's cool. Don't you love it when you disappear something and you can't even find it? Let's see if that was it. Oh, that was it. Oh, I just had a different name. There it is, Apollo. Yeah, it didn't fire off right there, so. Man, nope. That may go lower. Rejected there. Could go lower. If Bitcoin sucks down, watch out on MSTR. ICP, UST. Looking at crap cryptos is not really my favorite thing. So this is yet another crap chart at this point. May go lower. Below the roadmap line, bias down. Try to break out, failed. Set up for lower. So freaking felt that thing on my head. And IBN, look at that. Retrace to the roadmap line. Did it. And rock and roll. Rock and roll. Right up to the 1618. Retracing again. Did not make it to the roadmap line. Lower time frame retrace. Probably a 4 hour. Yep. 4 hour retrace. Break back above the 618. Potentially set up to extend out to $30 area. This is not big numbers. I mean, we're talking about from 29 to 30. Even though these look like giant moves, it's not really a giant move. Halliburton. I assume you're wanting Halliburton, not Hal Hindus, the one it tries to pull up. And back to the daily charts. Look at that. Nothing. No chart pattern. Potentially going back to the bottom right there. Sorry, dealer. LITE. This is a measured bounce. Just throwing that out there. I am long this baby. Looking for this move right there. 77 is my target. I may jump off at 66. I'm up like 30%. I think it was today. I don't remember. Anyway. Looking for that one to break on higher. And rock and roll. Rock and roll. All right. Next one. TQQQ. I went over this morning. There's no change. Target's still 92. Here's the target, 92. Purple line. No change. Hadn't done anything. Just sitting there, consolidating. This can take a while. Average 38 bars. 30 bars from right there. Right there, 53 days. Could take a while. Did you buy enough time? Right there. And it could take 3 times longer than that. Also, it doesn't just have to take the average. It could take like twice the average, 3 times the average, 5 times the average. Could be the anomaly. That's what makes these difficult. Sometimes go with the average. You can still run out of time, which sucks. Anyway, ABT. Apple Laboratories. That could be a measured bounce, and the target will be up here. Maybe sometime late this year and the next year. There's the market open again, 6 p.m. And CCO. Just hanging. There's resistance. There's the supports. Hanging in the middle. Oh, there's the, basically the 2 orange zones. Keep bouncing. We've done it once, twice, 3 times. There's the resistance. There's the support. Just hanging. Can't break out, can't break down. Sideways until... Sideways is what I expect. Until that happens. CLSK. Consolidating. Golly. Excuse me. Consolidating near the low. And nothing. No indication is doing anything except possibly going lower. We can easily retrace back. It kind of almost it did kind of fill the gap, so could retrace back to this low though. It's hate to be the bearer of bad news, but that's kind of what CLSK has going for it right now. SIGA, SIGA, not really indicative we're doing anything at all. Had a very fast retrace and pop back up, and it's like a heart. It's like almost like an EKG, like bloop, and parked right there. 14 upside, 6 on the downside, and it's almost run that whole range in the last couple weeks. I would be very careful on that one, chasing that one for any type of gains. Stock U. Let's see what we got. I think I just closed my shares on this. Got the resistance right there. In this 58 to 61 area. We've topped out there for months and months. We're there again. We may retrace again. We've been, look, it's kind of like that other chart I just looked at. We're down CCO. There's the lows. There's the highs. We're just kind of bouncing in between. It's been 1, 2, 3, 4. Ugh. Come on, do something. It's like the meme with the stick, do something, do something. BTBT already covered. Coin is stuck at the roadmap line and may retrace to a 618 right there. If y'all want to see all these crypto stuff, yeah, you should subscribe to Crypto Power Plays. Went over all that stuff just on Sunday. Intel, and in much more detail than what I'm doing here. Intel sit at the supports, could break down and go to a lower support down around 10. It's like a 50% haircut from where we are now. If we can form support here and go higher, we got to break back up through that giant gap that we left to go higher. Obviously, right? But the gap down is resistance going higher. Hive. Until I'm not going to tell you it's like going to save the day and turn and burn. It's possible to go lower and significant resistance to going higher with a big gap. Hive is doing absolutely nothing. Just consolidating down here, retraced, and just sitting there. Not really forming any kind of bullish or bearish pattern, really. Now, it has potential. It has a nice potential because it did a measured bounce setup. Has potential to go ridiculous numbers. But it also looks like the bubble pattern when you take it out of log mode. So this is not showing any kind of enthusiasm for actually getting going, unlike what Mara has done. So, and BTBT. Alrighty, TRX USD. There's your resistance right there. Maybe confirming we're gonna do a breakout, possibly to 22 cents on the upside. And Z for Zillow. I am long this one too. Just throwing that out there. Target up here. That's a measured bounce. Target's up here, 84. May take us out to December to get there. We'll break above that high. Game on, baby. 76 at the minimum, 90. 109 if we're really exciting and bullish. And looks about the same. Log mode, not log mode. That's Zillow for you. All right. And just skip the chat. Cool. GE is just hovering. There's support and there's resistance up here around 185 right there. And TSLA failed to break above the downtrend of highs. So we went on an excursion over here, broke back down, went lower low. Went on an excursion here, broke back down, trying to break out. Yeah, so this range is very narrow at this point. Very narrow at this point. We have a support down here where we bottomed. We have another support right here. And we have the resistance right there. It's like tightening up, squeezing in. I don't know. That's till we break out or break down. There's just nothing really to work on there. All right. SLB Schlumberg is bearish below the roadmap line. It's a downtrend of highs. The box has been the box for a couple of years. We're at the bottom of the box. Can we rally back to the top of the box, or are we going to break out and go lower? Here's a prime example. Watch out when we hang in the box and we go visit the bottom of the box, get out of the bottom of the box. Ouch. That used to be $200. Now it's $25. All right. Be careful on the ones that are in boxes that might break down. PANW. I am in PANW, just for the record, and I'm going to get out up here at this 400, 410 area. I got in at 300. I'm getting out at 400. That's 33% or whatever on shares. Not too bad. I've been sitting in them since March. Yeah, March. There you go. And PATH. NVIDIA is a Ponzi. I don't think it's a Ponzi. That's not what a Ponzi would be. Ponzi scheme is like an investment that people put in money and the people managing pay returns to early investors from new investors, and eventually the new investors dry up because there's no it builds higher and higher and higher, and so you got less and less people coming in, or maybe it's building out the pyramid, and then eventually you get to critical mass where there's not enough people coming in the bottom to pay everybody at the top, and that's what a Ponzi is. But NVIDIA is not a Ponzi. NVIDIA is just a bubble. And path may go lower. Resistance right up here and support down here, lower low. And ETHU has not enough candles to do jack squat, so can't chart that one. And NVIDIA is Ponzi. Just address that. SVXY is working on coming back. It has not been able to break above the roadmap line. And it's like sitting there, it's like flirting with us, like, hey, I look pretty good, right? And just hasn't broken above, hasn't triggered my system either. So gonna have to be above the roadmap line to get there. Can't do it. Just can't do it so far. This could take a little longer than normal. Usually it's 45 days past the bottom. What is 45 days? At this point, 45 days from the bottom is like 2 months right there. So right there, maybe when we get there, doo-dah. I am in September options, so that'll be suck because that'll be like 2 weeks later. Boom, breaking out. There you go. I'm in those September 20 options right there. Be Kimberly's birthday present if that pays off. She's like, what birthday present? Right there. That's what we're looking for. All right. Google. If you haven't seen my talk on SVXY, well, I give it occasionally. Today's not the day. Google just sitting on the roadmap line. Needs a gap fill up here to 183 to indicate we're going up to 198, possibly 200 right up there. We'll see. We'll see. Inium. Already covered that. Potential. There's not much to it. Potential's up here at 120. AAVEUSD. That's a hot mess of a chart. Turn that off. Look at that nasty chart. Sitting there. What little bit of roadmap line we got on the weekly, it's rejecting it with a lower high. Watch out for the lower low right there. And hello is not a ticker. JPY. USD. I bet you meant USD JPY. Go it that way. And watch for the retrace. Not far now. Right there it is, 140. And to the SVXY, CVE, Charlie Victor Echo. On the weekly chart, that's just a sideways for so long. Oh my goodness, look at that. Why? So real question. Why do you want to get involved in something that just sits sideways for years? What says, hey, I bet this thing's gonna rip or dip or do something like that? I got no. To me, that's no conviction to do jack diddly squat. I mean, there's your parameters right there. We've been in that. What would you guess happens next? If I was guessing, that happens next. What's the pattern that's come before? And I'm just throwing that out there. All right. Could you go over your thought process you chose and set your alert on NQ? I don't remember at this moment. It's in the way past. All right. HMY, we can go over to NQ again in the morning. Harmony may retrace to the roadmap line. Oh, there's two of them. I don't know where the second one came from. I saw two right in front of my eyeball there. There's the supports and resistance. I couldn't tell you. Possibly 17. And it could retrace bigger here. That is one heck of a move up. Got earnings coming up on the 4th. And not bad. This is a junior miner. So these junior miners are somewhat difficult to mess with. Look at the cogs on that baby. Holy moly. Wow. They got a lot of cost to make a little bit of money right there. And then it comes down to net income right there. Look at that. Look how much revenue they had to do to make that little bit of money. Man, what a business. What a business to be in. As long as that's a big number, it works. Golly. Anyway, yeah, 17 upside potential to retrace deeper. Be careful on Harmony. It's limited upside potentially. Paramount. This is a buyout target. Buyout deal. I don't know. They have tender offers at $15 a share and $16 a share. And this is telling me that the market thinks it's all hogwash at this point. Because it's not popping. It's not even getting through the roadmap line at all. May go lower. Support down here at $9 right there. XLY. Set to go higher. Already fired off. Covered that earlier last week, I guess it was. It was on the whichever day it was. XLY. 199. There you go. I think I just ate one of those bugs. Yep, I did. It just fell out of my mouth. Got him right there. Anyway. All right. I think I did IJT already. Didn't I? No, I guess it was a different one. Yeah. There's the target right there. 146. Costco is extended right to the target. Support down here. Not much upside left. Possibly 955, but that's played out. High probability played out already on Costco. And ALB is still in the toilet. Looking for bottom. And ACGL. I think I'm late. ACGL. Making a run for the next higher target there, I guess. Golly. Got no ability to really tell you. And 110, 117, 120 maybe. It's not a lot of upside potential. NVS. 120 is the next upside. Snow still hunting a bottom. No reversal yet. Support or resistance up here. Support potentially down here. 100, possibly even down to 89. And JT, I belong to Score, and one of our sessions, I have no idea what Score is. BTWO. Congratulations on whatever Score is. Vanguard, Russell, set to go to 194 or 94, excuse me, 94. And TLT is probably going to go lower. It's rejecting with a lower high. Watch out for that on TLT. GFI is just chopping. Y'all love these small little gold miners. I just bet on NEM because I mean look at the difference in that chart compared to GFI. That's a little. I mean it's like taking a crayon, scribbling, just scribbling on the chart right there. Whereas NEM dipped and has made a solid bottom. But this is like, it's having a lot of trouble making higher highs here. It's not my favorite thing to try to trade. Maybe it goes higher with gold. Excuse me. Maybe it goes higher with gold, but if you want exposure to miner, these baby miners, let's buy some GGXJ right there, or wrong one. UGL, ugly, right? Ultra gold. I guess that's gold, but not the miners. Anyway, RRR. Red Rock Resorts is doing kind of nothing. It's right near the top. All-time highs. Can it break out? That's a good question. Doesn't look like it wanted to this last attempt. Oh, that's a lower low. Slightly. So right there, possibly 66, 68 on the upside, which is not a huge upside compared to the potential to retrace much more deeply because, whoa, baby, that was a big move up. That low, this high, potential to come back down. Yikes. That would be a long way. And still could go much deeper. It could take that move back right there. It could be a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2. It's difficult to. I did extend to the target and then did retrace. That's unclear for me. Like it needs some sort of bigger retrace. Maybe. I don't like the way this price action is after doing all this. And it's stumbling a little bit. It may be indicative that we're going back down here. Now it very well could break out and go on a tear. It just doesn't have that feeling to it right now based on what I'm seeing right here. We're just topping out, and everything I measure is topping out. Oh gosh, yeah. I'm gonna go with this as the target. I can't even make a real solid case for going higher at the moment. Now, it doesn't mean it can't. Anything's possible, but that'd be the solid case right there, going lower. All right. So that's the list for the day. Looks like I caught up to everybody. So if anything I said was helpful, beneficial, give me a thumbs up, give me a like. Thanks for coming, everybody. I'm going to wrap it up here. I'll be back with you 9:15 in the morning. Same bad time, same bad channel, right here on YouTube. I'll be going through the list, looking for what's moving, what's popping, what's dropping. Probably find some bonus trades. I'm sure they came out already. And have a great evening. We'll see you in the morning.